Yo, sorry about my background. We're gonna start Enlightenment channel. As you can tell, I don't got no background, so a lot of times I don't even just utilize one. I could even go in dark on this one. Let me see. Hold on. All right, so for y'all that can, nah, I'm gonna turn this back on. Fuck that. So for y'all that can hear me, excuse my background, but for y'all that can hear me, um, you can tell by the title. This video is gonna be about astrology or just basic understanding of astrology. So if you're into spirituality or if you're into understanding certain things, like understanding what certain things mean and the whole overall basis and foundation of what astrology and these things actually are, stick around for this channel. Now I'm gonna wait a little bit for a minute just to let the people, because it's the live stream, to come in. So bear with me, give me a couple seconds. We'll wait till we get to that 2 minute mark, around that 2 minute mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Even if they're here or not, it don't even I don't even care. But check this out, because I'm gonna do this and that's it. But but you need to understand when it comes to astrology, basis understanding that it's not just about somebody's sun sign. A lot of times people say stuff and they be like, oh, not all these people are like this, or not all these people like that, or on the flip side they'll be like, yeah, I can't hang with Gemini because all Geminis are like this, or all Aries are like this, or all Leos are like this, and that may be true to an extent as far as how people display their actions, but you gotta understand the sun only deals with a person's actions and certain things you can directly see from them. The other planets are important too, like moons, other spaces like risings, other spaces like how a person, saying Neptune, Mars. That's how a person, energies, passions. Jupiter is how a person learns, how you get wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Goddamn. Moon is opposed to emotions. That's a part of a person you don't see. That's more so to the soul, closer to the soul. Rising is a person's energy that they naturally radiate off in general, whether they acting or not. Neptune is how a person imagines. Venus is how a person loves and what they appreciate and value and how they do these things. But most importantly, y'all, I'm finna get into the gritty because I did want to be honest with y'all. What y'all need to understand is this. Y'all need to understand at the end of the day. And shout out to Joey, shout out to Safia, Coster, shout out to CC, shout out to everybody. And shout out to everybody that's here. We love y'all. Stick around because I don't want to say this. You need to understand this. When it comes to astrology, when you look at a person's chart and wheel, all these things are important. All these things are outline and preface of a person's whole life. So this don't mean that just because you got a certain chart that this mean that you necessarily damned or doomed. This don't mean that because you got a certain chart that you already gonna be in a certain situation. But in so many ways, it kind of does to an extent too. You gotta understand that, because when you talk about certain, this is more important than anything that niggas be talking about astrology. When you look at certain spaces as far as the houses, this is all the areas of life, right? First house dealing with your individuality and who you are as a person. Second house dealing with your career, money, and values. Third house dealing with how you think and your thinking ability. Fourth house dealing with home and family. Fifth house dealing with creativity. Sixth house how you work. Seventh house relationships. Eighth house sexuality. Ninth house philosophy, spirituality. Blah 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 blah. 12th house dealing with imagination. You gotta understand, if a person has empty houses, that means they don't have no influences. What I mean by empty, there's always a sign as far as what these spaces are, like what your house is in. But if you don't got no planets or no signs and no energy as far as like that in these things, then that means that energy is void and you don't have that much control over that area. For instance, if your fourth house is empty and you don't got no goddamn planets or none of that in there, say your fourth house is in a certain sign too, like you may be in a sign that doesn't resonate with the fourth house. Fourth house, that's dealing with that's ruled by the moon, so that's it's home in Cancer. You see what I'm saying, or whatever you call it. So if you got Scorpio in the fourth house, that energy don't mix with home and family. That don't mix with the fourth house. So these be people like me. I got a fourth house, so that mean that no matter how much, and this be sucky and shitty, because No matter how much you love your family, I'm not saying that they hate you, but that means in so many shapes and forms, there are ulterior motives going on behind closed doors that you are either aware about or not aware about, depending on how conscious you are. But it may be hard to come to grips with that based upon your other energies. You know what I'm saying? Some people can cut off easily, some people not so easily. Some people have gullible charts, gullible energies, a lot of gullible energies, you know what I'm saying? But like with Scorpio fourth house, like me, you know this is an example of a person who, no matter how much you love your people, is very detriment because there's always some ulterior motive going on. You see what I'm saying? There's always going to be a sense of something going on behind the scenes that you don't know about that may be geared towards you. 9 times 10 is geared towards you. You see what I'm saying? And a person could lie to you to death, and you could love you and whatever. You could love them and all that, but there's something that's being held from you, and you don't know how a person truly feels about you. So you need to understand that. But a lot of y'all, I be saying this too. A lot of y'all charts, and that goes in everything. So like say 12th house, imagination and dreams and shit. So if you got an empty 12th house, meaning you got a sign in there, everybody got a sign. But if that house itself is empty, no planets, then you're not gonna have that much influence over. It may be hard to meditate and get deep into it. It may be harder for you to leave your body when it comes to having meditation. It may be harder for you to get into a meditative space. It may be harder for you to have an active, vivid imagination. You know what I'm saying? It may be harder for you to control your dreams. If you have dreams, then it may be chaotic, or it's not even chaotic. You just may not have that much influence over these things. You know what I'm saying? And you got to use other energies in your charts to compensate based upon whatever sign energies in the house. But depending on what those are, those may not even be beneficial and accessible. And that's why this would come down to a lot of people. If you like seventh house is relationships. If you don't got no energies in that, you screwed. But then again, it goes deeper than that because even you talk about fixed stars, right? You fixed stars. Fixed stars is when you got a planet or energy in the house, but since it's a fixed star, that means it's not in this space. See, if you let me give you an example, y'all, because I know a lot of people are visual in their mind. So let me give you an example. Let's say I got a good one for you. Let's say eighth house like me. Say oh, excuse me, my eighth house is in Pisces, but as far as inside the house planets, I have nothing in there. So since eighth house deals with sexuality, since I don't have no, if you a person you don't have no sign, no planets or whatever in that house, then that means when it comes to your area of life of sexuality, uh, even with death, certain secrets, things like that, everything dealing with that eighth house and that root chakra and that Scorpio energy, because that's what rules that in that area of life dealing with sexuality, you don't got no energies in there. You may be easily taken advantage of in that space. You see what I'm saying? You may not have that much influence. You may have a hard time controlling these things yourself. You may not be able to influence other in that area. AKA, you may be having a hard time manifesting a lot of sexual pleasure in your life, or manifesting a lot of your desires in that dealing with that area. You see what I'm saying? Um, it may be hard for you to get your 1-2 in that area. You see what I'm saying? It may be very like you have to go tooth and nail just to get a certain situation. You got to put this. It'll like see what I'm saying? But when I say fixed stars, that's like say a person like me. I don't have nothing, but say a person has. Say they have Neptune in their eighth house, or they got a planet, or any planet. I'm just giving examples. You can have a planet in that house, right? A fixed star would be like you having a planet in that house, but that planet lands on a fixed star, aka if a person's planet was in that house and they didn't land on a fixed star, then that means it's not nowhere foreign. So it's still dealing with this space, aka this world, this solar system, this world pretty much. Meaning the energy don't play out foreign, so it's more applicable and you can utilize it. You see what I'm saying? But if you got fixed stars in your chart, that means that you would think like, oh wait, but I got energy in there, don't I? But it's tricky and it's more of a debilitation. Other space and location. Hold on. Hold on, I think I'm back. So that mean that energy come from another. My shit getting hot. I gotta end this soon. That mean your stuff come from another space and location that don't deal with the Earth. This is why people that got a lot of fixed stars and fixed elements in their chart, um, like fixed stars specifically, they come across as weird, and they be like, a lot of people that they're not spiritual, they'll never know. They'll live their whole life, end up maybe taking their own life and thinking life was so hard, and it was. But you gotta understand why, because a lot of you may have a lot of fixed stars in your chart, and so having a fixed star is just as good as not having anything at all. Sometimes even worse because that's your energy, but how you express your energy is not reciprocating in some reality. So that's like, say it's dealing with ninth house, that's dealing with teaching and philosophy. Your voice may not be heard if you got a fixed star in that house. So no matter how much, it don't matter how much you may actually know, because if you got a fixed star, even yes, that's still, that means you got energy in there. That, so that means you still may be aware of how to utilize things, but it's not reciprocated in this reality. So you'll never be a full preacher or pastor. You'll struggle trying to be this and that and the third if you don't have other energies that's not fixed in other spaces that can correlate to that and be utilized, that you can come across and be more perceptible to the reality you in, aka just be a person that come across as weird, versus if you got stuff that can correlate more with this reality that's not fixed, you can come across as more normal. And even if you are eccentric, you got a lot of fixed stars in other areas, you may have other planets that are not fixed, so they still more resonant with this world. So you be one of those people that come across as, some people may hate and be like, oh, that nigga weird, this but it may be more so on a larger percentage level of most people saying, yeah, he's different. He's eccentric, but we F with him. Like, yeah, he's got his own style. Ooh, that boy wild. Ooh, Yachty wild. Yeah, he wild. But we F with him. But his music hard. Versus if you just straight up fixed stars, you ain't never gonna, your energy will never be reciprocated. I'm gonna let you know that right now. And this is why I be saying a lot of people's life, and I don't care. You can hate on me. I'm telling the truth. A lot of people's life is not worth living in this reality, especially in this time as a whole. A lot of people, even if you are up, is is what's that word? Debatable if it's your life is really worth living. That's why a lot of people, even if you got money, you're going through it at this time. But that's another story and video. But just in general, we talk about fixed stars specifically. This is why a lot of people don't even know. A lot of people's life ain't even worth living. But they're not spiritual, don't understand these things. And they in the shadow government and the world that we in make you think that death is something bad and all kind of ish. But that's fine. That's a whole other topic itself. But when you look at people's chart, you start realizing a lot of people chart, it doesn't resonate with this human reality. So it's not about saying, yeah, it's just so sad. It's not that. You need to understand these things and understand that you having a bunch of fixed stars, that means you got a bunch of energies from other spaces and star systems. So why you gonna sit here and cry because I'm telling you, or because your reality is life may not be worth living, as if in your mind you listening to the shadow government and the way that the world and society treat you, make you think that this is like the end of such a form. Like you can only feel that way by thinking that this is the end of such a form, and it's far from the end. You in the third dimension. You still in the realm of third dimension. You in the realm of physicality. That's not even, we, none of us are technically even living for real. This is like the realm of death. That's why everything down here dies. You got to remember reality, but that's not even the case, or neither is it looked that way. Now you got the realms of transition and transformation that take the form of change and taking new forms in what we would call death, but it's not looked at harshly or looked at as the way it is here. And it's a totally different energy signature. It don't carry that same heavy weight. And that's gonna get into another video too, but you need to understand that because some people lost down here, even the highest lostness, the highest consciousness y'all think y'all got down here is still like low, and you don't even know it. So if you're a person and you got all these energies that, like, you can have an effed up chart is what I'm trying to say. And based on these energies being foreign and they're from another space, your energy is in other star systems. Your energy is in other spaces. So your energy not gonna get reciprocated in this from reality. You see what I'm saying? No matter how hard you try, it's not. You can cry yourself a river. It's not. It's never going to. And your spirit, look, you know it don't. That's why you probably be one of them people to be addicted to certain drugs. It's like you don't give a hell. You don't give a f. Cause your spirit know. You may not be consciously aware yet, but your spirit know. Like, yeah, this, you know what I'm saying? That's another video too. That's getting into something else. But you need to understand that, right? And so, like I said again, lastly, a lot of people have energies in other star systems, and other worlds, and other planetary systems, and other worlds and stars. Because this isn't the only star system. Whether you think it or not, it don't matter. Even your own space tell you that. Y'all idiots that came up with the fact that, okay, there's trillions of billions of worlds out here. Because they tell you ain't no life on there. You ain't never put, maybe they lying to you and telling you that shit because they want niggas to reincarnate. But, I mean, people so lost nowadays. You don't even know how to go about it. But shout out to Corona. But you need to understand that. And that's that. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of that, but that's, y'all need to understand it. A lot of people, especially if we start seed and this and the third, you You better off not even being here. A lot of y'all, like if you straight up see, I'm just talking about a person that have a lot of starseeds energy. But a lot of times, if you were actual starseed yourself, that means your moon land on a fixed star, like me and a lot of other spiritual people, and you definitely looked at as weird, or looked at as different, or looked at as the black sheep or outcast in the society. But a lot of, and you may not know, but a lot of starseeds actually ain't even supposed to be here. Period. I don't give a hell if you was prosperous down here. Even if you was starseed, you ain't really supposed to be down here. You chose to be down here, and it's not about some grace or destiny. It's just you probably was down here either so many times or before in different. It could be down here in a different density, in the same density. It could be whatever. You was still experiencing the earth element in the previous lifetime, and so you accumulated a know-how, and now you have chakras fulfilled, aka you've done different things, and now you have the experience. So when you got born again this time, you was able to be aware of how to do that. That's all that is. But it don't make you better than somebody else, because somebody else could have came from another reality, and this their first time down here, so they struggling harder. It's not that your spirit is bigger than theirs and better. Now sometimes it can be like that, but that's not the main viewpoint of how to detect if that's the case. Because you can have a person that got a broad spirit, but from way far out, and that spirit got lost, or purposely got lost, or came and wanted to try something different for whatever they feel like they needed, rightfully so or not, and they got lost or whatever, and they came down here and they wanted to experience this for whatever reason they wanted to, and then this their first time, so they are more unaware, so they big as hell somewhere else. They just left another star system. They probably like the god of that reality, or like a celebrity in that reality, or a glorified deity, or the sun, a star in that reality, but they came down here, and where they from dealt with a whole different element than where we at now. And so they spirit not familiar with how to get a 1-2 in this reality. So when it comes to fixation and structure and stability, that's where Earth deals with and growth. They lack these things, and they may be, you could say a bum, or they just not being able to get their life together, or they may be lesser or broke, or not able to get themselves fixated in this reality. And y'all look down on them, dude. And because somebody else that may be a star seed that may truthfully be somewhere else too, they experience this life and remember reality maybe a couple lives or a life or two before, so they got just enough energy to know how to get their 1-2 and be successful down here. Y'all look at them like, oh, they better and they bigger. No, they not no better than no fucking body. Y'all just live lives that was either physically in this earth specifically like we are before reincarnated, or maybe you even was in the higher version of earth, because earth has different layers. That's another video. They could have been in the fourth, fifth dimensional version of earth before they descended down into this vessel. You see what I'm saying? Many different ways, no matter how you look at it. But they might experience earth before already. So then when they come down here, they already have a know-how, and you think they're better than you. They're not better than you. Your spirit could be actually broader than that person. You don't know it. You say that, you think it's a joke, but your spirit could. Your spirit could be far out in fucking the constellation of Dorado, far out, somewhere that don't got shit to do with this reality. I'm gonna say this and I'm done, but there's constellations of stars, like we live in a star system right now, solar system we call Earth. In this world, you got star systems out there that don't have nothing to do with this in reality. Don't got the same emotions and feelings, because those are planetary energies. None of that. None of the same stardust, space dust, and how we get none of that. So y'all sitting here scared to death. I don't know why the fuck y'all scared to death. Y'all need to get that shit situated. Y'all need to start meditating more. That's y'all problem now. You guys ain't meditating enough. You sitting around playing around thinking it's a game, and the thing is, you actually get grace. It's not as bad as you actually think. You do have a lot more power than you realize. Y'all just don't apply yourself because either y'all lost into the world, or y'all let other you be around people you don't need to be around, and they dictate what you do, or you just don't think you got the power, but you actually do got the power. Y'all just don't utilize this shit. A lot of shit you don't even have to work hard for. A lot of shit ain't even about getting your ass up and doing a lot of shit. A lot of shit be internal. A lot of shit be meditating. A lot of shit be going within more. A lot of shit be, because when you imagine and you all do all that shit, you build a life within inside you. As above, so below. But that's a different video too. And this is how big people get meditated. This is why some people got more chi and more energy. They, you know what I'm saying? This is why when you was younger, you felt more youthful. You had more vitality because you was more your imagination. And then you get older, you start getting tired and your body start decrepiting more because you stopped that shit. That's chi, nigga. That's energy. Straight stardust. Imagination is stardust. The fuck you talking about? How you think we get fucking here? You think you somebody just threw you down here? Dumb ass. And this ain't towards any of y'all. I'm just, this how I rant, because I really be talking to myself, reminding myself too, because we all deal with this shit. I'm just keeping it raw because it's my best way to get in my state that I like to be in. But I'm gonna wrap it up. But that's how that shit play out. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna wrap it up. But you need to understand that. At a point, give me 1 second. So yeah, but I was saying is a lot of y'all do have the power. A lot of y'all think y'all don't have the power, and don't get it twisted. A lot of things need attention paid to it. You gotta get off your ass. You gotta do what you gotta do. Don't get it twisted. Because there's plenty ways to manifest through energy alone. Exercise, building energy. The amount of money you got is depending on the amount of the currency you got in you, all that. But a lot of niggas do got actually the power, even when you think you don't. It just may be harder for you to get yourself sophisticated and asphyxiated with these things than another person due to the lack of the elements you got. Like I mentioned before, another person may have more earth element than you. And that's all that is. That's the only reason why that's. But because you can have a dumbass that don't know shit, spirit ain't expanded or nothing. They don't know anything, and they could be prospering heavy hard and be dumb as a box of rocks. All because they just from this space. They not a starseed. They from here. So they was in all kind of vessels and bodies and bugs and lizards. This is the only world they ever been in. Hell yeah, they gonna manifest more shit than you here. That don't mean they better than you. They finna go die and go right the hell, come back here until they get tired of this shit. Fuck you mean? Or or they get enough conscious awareness or source through others or whatever, and they can take a higher fourth, fifth, or sixth dimensional vessel in this space, but they still from here, so they still gonna be in this space until they become a star. That's sixth dimension. Once you become sixth dimension, you in your own space, but you still be resonating with the energy that you resonate with. This is a grander space. But a lot of y'all ain't going to that shit. Y'all dumb as a box of rocks. Nobody going to shit. The most the average person to get is like fourth dimension, but they gonna come down here too because they don't really got that much source, and they not aware enough, and they still lost in desire, not knowing that world actually got more desires and things you can do in that world that's more pleasurable. You got remember realities where the state of being of that natural world is being in an orgasm. So orgasm is like a natural, like how you sitting here now just living life. You got remember realities where the natural state of being in that world is orgasm. You see what I'm saying? And so when they actually have sex, it's even more powerful than that. And we got different realities that's basking in orgasm. That's natural. That's harder than anything that you can experience down here, even your own orgasm energies. But you don't talk about that shit because I don't know. But at some point, some people, I tell people, even some people that have knowledge, some people have a lot of knowledge and conscious knowledge, and they spirit be expanded. But since they don't have no energies down here that they can grip on, earth element wise, or they got fixed stars, you know, sometimes like especially some people, they be the main ones that's better off dead because it's like you got all this energy and light and source and all this consciousness expansion. So your spirit broad, you big, you can ascend, but you don't even got nobody that you don't even got nobody that like you can't even utilize that energy down here. Like when you look at Seven Bomar or Dolo the Pilot Man, or you look at Bobby Hemmett, rest in peace, our brother Penny, rest in peace, he passed away. Different people, these people were consciously broad as a spirit, but they might have had energies and elements that they could have utilized to get them in a 1-2-1-2 down here. But some people, y'all be bright as hell and got all this information, and y'all don't even have no energies to be reciprocated. So y'all can have all this bright ball, flaming gas of energy that you can't even share with nobody because your energy is so unreceptive because of your energies effed up. You see what I'm saying? And they don't resonate with this world. So you gotta be all alone, and then you can't manifest friends or people that's on the same vibration as you solely, let alone on the same vibration, aka in the same shit that you into. And so now you gotta be around others that's not into that shit. And then even on your own, you can't even get shit on your own and experience these things on your own, even though that's still lonely, but you be able to do it on your own or be able to manifest some type of physical currency in this reality for you to experience. You can't even do that. That's already hell. And then you can't even manifest or get traction to get people to gain a following that people can listen to your knowledge. So you just dying for no reason. So you got all this flaming ball of energy, you can't even use this shit. Y'all niggas should have been dead. That's why I say a lot of y'all path should be trying to get the fuck out of here. Y'all sitting back and playing, thinking this shit funny. I get it. I get it. Nobody perfect. I'm not gonna bash nobody. That's cool. That's fine. Because you know better than anybody else know. You can talk shit however much you want to talk shit. You know what you gotta do. You know what you need to do. And ain't nobody else gonna save you. I don't care even if you did manifest the people you need in your life. The niggas nobody can save you. Now they can help. Now it will help and it will lead you. It will lead you fast. I'm not gonna lie. That be the benefit. So it do be sucking, but at the same time, can't nobody force you to do shit. You know what the fuck you gotta do in your life. And what you know you gotta go for, you gotta do that. I don't care who the fuck, what you got going on. You know deep down what the fuck you gotta do. You can act like you don't. You can fight yourself, bite yourself, sit in the bed at night and lie to yourself and make yourself feel comfortable all you want. You know what the hell you gotta do in your own life, period. I don't give a fuck what niggas talking about. Sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need that space to ourselves to realize. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes we need the meditation, that space of clarity. Sometimes we need that spiritual boost, that spiritual motivation. Don't get it twisted. We all fall short, right? And we get cluttered throughout the day being around people we don't need to be around, and that helps us further get lost from truth. But deep down, we all know what you know what the fuck you gotta do. You act like you don't know you want. Your spirit know. And a lot of times, it don't even got nothing to do with the shit that you think you so much got to do so hard. I gotta hustle. I gotta hustle real good. It ain't got nothing to do with that shit. Those things you can utilize down here to further boost your structure down here and whatever you're trying to go towards. But none of those things are needed. It'd be like a few handful of shit that y'all really need to do, and y'all don't do this shit. Most of the shit don't even involve busting your ass, actually. It be some spiritual shit y'all know y'all gotta do. I don't even got to get to start naming, because if you spiritual, your mind, that already took you to a space of seeing the shit in your mind of what you need to do. The first thoughts you get, the first thoughts and feelings, that's the shit you need to do, period. Because your first thoughts is the reason why your spirit harbored on those first thoughts. Some people it was meditation, some people it was imagination, some people it was developing creativity. Fuck. Hell, I just said that. That let you know what I need to do. That's why that's the first thing that just popped on my mind. See? Teamwork made the dream work. That's how it worked. But I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. But that's how that shit be. So like I said again, a lot of I don't be hard on nobody. This is reflection for myself too. Like I said, a lot of you spiritual niggas, we know what we gotta do. And even you, everybody, you know what you gotta do. It don't be till you get lost in the world and listen to too much what they tell you need to do that you don't do these things. I feel like, but it always be more simple than not. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, the stuff that we think we need to do, I'm not saying that that's not beneficial. No, I'm not saying that that's not beneficial at all. But that damn shit don't be like the main thing. That be like subsidiaries that can help us boost ourselves towards our goal. But the main things a lot of times be shit that don't even deal with hard work. Hard work, that's a Masonic concept. That's some shit that this world deal with. You see what I'm saying? And that be lostness, because yes, it's still the earth element, so it's dealing with fixation, it's dealing with work, but the way that they got you doing it, that's some created template shit that they want y'all to slave and work up under this shit while they get rich and all that other shit. They ain't fucking doing that shit. So like I said, a lot of y'all know what the fuck y'all need to do in y'all lives. And a lot of times it deal with shit that don't even deal with physicality. It be other shit that y'all gotta get yourself right internally. Like I said before, I'm gonna say it again for the new people in here. Whether it's meditation, whether it's developing your imagination, whether it's dealing with your creativity, whether it's dealing with going within, it be like it really just be some spiritual shit. I know it sounds stupid, like wait, no, but you gotta get the body right, and that is true too, cause exercise helps you get right, cause it be a within without thing. It be a as above, so below, so within, so without thing. So a lot of times, even if you're not going within and doing spiritual practices, just you getting your body right and exercising does stabilize your external chakras too, to make you start feeling different and better and healing certain things too. That's true. But all I'm saying is these things aren't always as much needed if a person already doing things spiritually what they're supposed to do. This is how we create minerals and all this. Why some people have more minerals than others in different spaces, because we actually bend in all these fluids within us. Look up cell salts. Look up your body. How you think your body produce sperm cells and egg cells 24/7? They're just coming out of nowhere. Even if you don't eat, you still gonna be producing them shits. So we're creating these things from the inside without. This is why when you sleep, it's so healing. Why you think? Because you just went within. You just tapped into this. You're in the spiritual realm, and you're healing yourself. You're going there to recharge. Same shit. You recharging your chakras. And then when you die from this, you actually detach from your mind, body, and your chakras, and then you go to another reality. If you go to another reality, all y'all just reincarnate with the same shit y'all just left from in the same situation. Y'all don't even take more expanded life in this world. Y'all take the same shit and be in hell again with the same dumbass situations. So it be different parents, different people, different family, same situation. Y'all better chill with that shit. I'm telling you. And we at a time now where the universe, we got all access to things more than we ever have before. This ain't really the time to be playing, but it's not a bad thing. It's just this is a time where we have more access than ever. It's a positive thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you can understand that. So like I said again, I'm gonna keep stressing it because it's so important. A lot of the shit we think we need to do that we need to stress ourselves about, it really don't even be that. It really be some spiritual shit that we be lacking, and we be stressing ourselves up thinking we gotta do this, do that, do that. And the whole time it really be some spiritual shit. We just gotta go within more. It be some spiritual shit that we ain't doing. We ain't doing this enough, that enough, going within enough, doing X, Y, Z, meditating, whatever, whatever, whatever. Expanding on imagination. We ain't building shit. We ain't building our eternal world and kingdom. And then that shit end up bending into better health because you bending in more blood flow. You building in more energy and vitality. You see what I'm saying? Now you feel better, and now that's gonna lead you to have better thoughts and feelings of how to go about your day. That actually lead you to being physically healthy, being more healthy physically. You see what I'm saying? So everything starts from the spirit first. Believe that. I know y'all think that shit whack, but believe that. Everything starts from the spirit first. So I don't know who the fuck, if you've been in a situation where you've been thinking that it ain't, and you thinking that you need to give something else more importance, yo at lost. Y'all, a lot of y'all need to stop. Start going to y'all rooms. Take a second away from family. Stop. Don't go around nobody no more. If you off work, don't go around nobody for maybe one day or for a couple hours, and really just sit and take time with yourselves about what the hell you need to do. Cause your spirit gonna always tell you. This is why a lot of times we don't start getting the right thoughts about our situations and the people we around until we get by ourselves. Then our thoughts start being clear and clarity. Because sometimes your spirit have a hard time communicating with you and showing you shit because you too cluttered around other people's spaces. They got spirits too, but their spirits may not mix with yours. Just like energies. You got red, you got heavy red transmitter spaces and what they like to resonate with. Then you got blues. They may not mix together because they made up different elements. So it's not about war or making them bad or nothing. It's just y'all don't resonate with each other. So you can't force some shit that ain't meant to be. So it's like that. You being around some motherfuckers that you don't resonate with, that ain't in the same things that you, don't feel the same ways about you, and you wonder why you keep manifesting bad experiences with these people. Y'all bumping heads in the spiritual realm and it's manifesting this. Y'all getting into arguments. Period. That's it. That's it. That's all. Ain't no spookism. That's it. That's it. That's it. Period. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it be. Mm. But like I'm gonna say it again. Yeah, a lot of times, just gotta understand it be simple shit. You know what I'm saying? And when you go within, and you get your internal world right, and you spiritually get right, a lot of things follow in the physical realm anyway. So like I said before, I don't know what the fuck y'all been thinking of. I need to stress myself out. Like yeah, y'all. If I don't get it twisted, y'all might have jobs, y'all might have necessities. Your physical health may need to be taken care of. So I'm not saying don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, make those priorities to make sure you get things done. But what I'm saying is, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. If you get the internal world right, with your dreams and with your imagination, meditations, going within, whoop, that's getting your spirit right. A lot of times the physical world will follow anyway, because the spirit world is first, not the physical. So it will play out as not only you having more energy and currency and being able to directly manifest things to you that work in your favor anyway, you even have thoughts and feelings that lead you into certain areas that are more prosperous for you or that are more in your favor, that put you in a better state of being, that better represents yourself and that go in your favor. See what I'm saying? All what I haven't necessarily lift the finger. It'll lead to you lifting the finger, but I'm saying it bend in from that first. You see what I'm saying? It's simple as that. So y'all can continue to stress yourself out as much as you want. Hell, we can all continue to stress ourselves out as much as we want. But deep down inside, like I said, we know what the fuck we need to do. We can add 1,000 different templates of what we think we need. Yeah, I need to do this. I need to be like this person. Yeah, but this person did this, so I gotta do it that way. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, you keep doing that. You'll be doing that the rest of your life, wasting your time when it could have been so simple. And ain't nobody perfect. Everything take time. But goddamn, you ain't gonna never be on the right track unless you start getting on that track. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. I've been in here 35 minutes. Much love to y'all, man. Love everybody in here. And remember that. So a lot of people that you around don't need to be around, especially if you spiritual. Like if you are you a star seed and you know you spiritual, you're not from here, you damn sure need to be hanging around most of y'all family members. Especially not in this time. This is a dead time anyway. It's not even worth being here, period. But for some reason we choose this shit. You know what I'm saying? But you damn sure wasting your time being around family members now, because everybody being used as a vessel to be against you if they not into this shit, if they not into the spiritual shit. See what I'm saying? So you just wasting your time. It's not nothing spiritual. It's not nothing. In that case, the reasoning is not because it's something not to get you. No, it's because your ass is lost, and you know you ain't supposed to be around them anyway. It ain't like it's some foreign shit you never heard of. This be some shit you know with certain individuals you don't need to be hanging around with. You already know it. You either justifying some shit based upon what the world make you think is something that you need to value, or make you think that that's something that you need to do because it's the right thing to do. See, it be simple shit like that. So we'll waste our time, or you'll waste your whole time being around people you don't need to be around. You just wasting the hell out of your time. That energy can go into something else, because you be scared. You be scared that if I detach from them, it be gonna be bad, or you can't spiritually, you don't think you can spiritually handle those awkward situations of breaking a person off or not being around a person that you don't need to be around. You think it's, oh, but I don't let them go. They're my family. I know them, and all that weak. That's weak minded as shit. Now that's how, when really, truthfully told, if you on your grind, do what you gotta do, you wouldn't be worried about that even if you was in that space, cause you'd be so busy getting things done. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. I know. I've been already been there. You wouldn't even be worried about that type of shit. You wouldn't even be worried about, yeah, but people gonna look at me a certain type of way. None of that shit, cause you would be so busy taking care of what you gotta take care of, doing what you gotta do. So you wouldn't even give it no energy and time. And then if a motherfucker is bothering with you, you know you if it's gotta go physical, that's fine. But most importantly, if you know you gotta do what you gotta do spiritually to get a person out of your space, you doing that too. That's all it come down to. But that's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it come down from niggas not doing what they know they gotta do anyway. Cause a lot of times if you already doing what you gotta do anyway, you don't even have time for these individuals in the first place. But so much time, especially when it's family, you want to be sucked up to this because it's all you know. And it's worse if you're not manifesting people and friends that you need to be around if you're spiritual. That's now that is like hell. That's why I say a lot of us ain't life ain't worth living. We just choose to do it because we strong, but it ain't like it's some God ordained shit. Because for you to even have those thoughts and feelings, you shouldn't even have those thoughts and feelings. If that was the case, you'll be like a motherfucker that's like, yeah, life rough, but I know I'm here for this reason. It wouldn't even be like I said that to myself the other day when we were talking about what life is worth living. He was like, a life can't be living if you having certain thoughts, because if that was the case, you should be having the thoughts of, man, I don't care what happened. I'm staying here. I know what I'm here for. Oh, I don't care what happened. I'm trying to be this old. But if a person even having second thoughts and guess it's like, oh, is my life worth living? That's your spirit already letting you know that motherfucker ain't. Period. I'm come about to shut the government when they get mad about my channel. This is the truth. You shouldn't even have thoughts about that. Otherwise, that's your spirit just letting you know, which ain't nothing wrong with that. That's your spirit letting you know that you better off leaving. Why? Because you gotta go to another reality, another reality that resonate more with your space. And then when you get there, you're gonna realize you might actually be a celebrity in that world. You might actually be prosperous and never have to worry. You may actually get all the love or whatever that energy reciprocates in that reality as that. You see what I'm saying? But you're also worried about what schools and what they've been taught and all this brain crap that we've been lost in and that they've been telling us lies about. Y'all think it's the right thing to do. No, that's so sad. Your dumb ass. And then you finna die. And then cause we all gotta die anyway. Then when your dumb ass die for thinking stupid like that, you gonna reincarnate right down here. Because guess what? Where the mind go, the body follows. So you finna die, you gonna leave this body. But in your mind, you still lost in this reality. That's how you reincarnate. You don't think that they don't got us in this cycle on purpose? That wouldn't even exist if they didn't have us in this cycle on purpose. You don't think the whole purpose of that is to all have us lost in it? Don't you? I ain't even to get because that's getting too deep. But you need to understand that shit. There's a reason why they got things set up the way they ain't just doing this shit for no reason. Because they could conquer and rise regardless. They doing this shit for a reason now. They getting our energies for a reason now. So this shit ain't just some shit that's just some made up shit that just no. They clearly know what the fuck they doing, or else we wouldn't be in a situation asking these questions in the first place. Like I said, if you even having that thought and feeling on your mind that much about why situations occurring, 9 times 10 that's your answer. Cause your spirit wouldn't have made you pay attention to that shit to ponder on in the first place if it wasn't something that needed to be either rectified or that was answering a question. For instance, if a person always pondering on, damn, I hate being here, I'll take my life, or is my life worth living? And they constantly doing this one thing once or twice. But if you constantly living a life like monthly, yearly energies, growing up, you constantly be thinking shit like, is my life worth living? Think about it. Spirit told me you would never have to ask if your life were worth living, you would never have to ask that question. That would never be on your mind. That's like when what's McCall Hoskins the other day say think about it. If you having a good time, you're not thinking about da 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 this and that and the third. Oh, what about if I went here? You having a good time? That's not even on your mind. You're not even thinking about it. That's not even a thought. You're not even thinking about it. Period, good or bad. You're not even in that space thinking about this shit. So you mean to tell me you asking all these, asking yourself, man, am I supposed to be here? Is life worth living? You wouldn't be asking that question, is life worth living? You wouldn't be asking that question. That's just like when somebody sings a song, even when they talk about like, oh, if I say, oh, is my brother really for me? Or is my best friend really for me? You shouldn't have to ask that question. Because the fact that you're asking that question means there's doubt somewhere in the first place. And you shouldn't even have doubt. Because for you to have doubt means that you picked up something spiritually or intuitively that made you ponder on that in the first place. That's your spirit talking to you. But a lot of times we don't know how to communicate with our spirit because our spirit don't communicate with language. It only speak through signs, situations, and symbols. Signs, symbols, and situations. That's like a person that's still constantly being in the same situation every day, right? And they're like, damn, why I'm in this situation? Da 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 da. Clearly, it's you in that situation for a reason. It don't mean something that's putting you in that situation. It's a state of being you in that's manifesting that situation. You see what I'm saying? Or it could be the lack thereof. But that I ain't gonna go too deep into it. I'm just saying that's how shit play out. So you need to understand if you even ask yourself certain questions like damn, bro, I wonder what's like on the other side. Or man, I feel like it's other life out there. Or, man, I'm tired of being on Earth. You know, niggas be like, man, I hate this world. You like be like, oh, I hate this world. I hate this world. Man, why this world be better? Oh shit. Oh, I get so sick and tired of this shit. Like that's your spirit letting you know it's tired of being down here. That's your spirit letting you know it want to escape a new realm of reality. But the more we listen to things that deal with logic and language and what we taught, then I mean we gonna always think that that's the right thing, and that's how y'all end up in reincarnate. You see what I'm saying? Until you gain enough information, conscious awareness, because that's what expands your spirit, and then you get big enough to take a higher vessel. Because that's up and down. It's not about up and down in the spiritual world. So when they say ascending, it's not about you literally going up in a direction. That just means expansion. You see what I'm saying? Expansion and contraction. The more contracted you are as a spirit, the more lesser dimension you go. The more expanded you are as a spirit, the more higher dimension you go. You notice because it's always life within life. Like you got cells within you. That's like one dimensional shit. That's some small ass shit, but they live in life within you. Scientifically, even that proves it. If you want to use that for an example, sperm cells, these things within you. You see what I'm saying? They're taking a smaller vessel till they come out or till they get expand big enough to come out in a higher dimension. You see what I'm saying? It's shit like that. Like an ant or a bug is in a smaller dimensional perception than let's say a frog or a big ass iguana or a lizard. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe even a snake. You see what I'm saying? And then those are on smaller levels than let's say a dog. You see what I'm saying? Or a hyena or a cat. And then those are on smaller levels than say a rhino or a bull or a full grown lion. You see what I'm saying? Or a tiger or elephant or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? But it's not always about size because you can have like a human could be more expanded than an elephant, but it's in a smaller physical vessel. But the presence be stronger. Like there's different reasons to all that. I ain't gonna get too deep into that shit, but you need to understand that. That's all I'm saying. I don't want myself out, but that's how you need to understand that, right? Um, um, hold on, I had something on my mind. Hold on. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that plays out. So it's just expansion, contraction. Now don't look at it as up and down. Like yes, there be directions as far as you expand higher and or to a higher dimension, but really that just means you expand into a broader dimension, a bigger realm of reality, with more. See what I'm saying? With more or more prestige or whatever you want to call it, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's all that is. But a lot of times, and I got another video talk about how if you wouldn't even have the thought of something if it didn't exist in some shape or form, either for some person or in another reality, it exists in some shape or form. It's like if anything, if you could, you know what I'm saying, if you could think of a person getting smacked down and dying from that, that exists because you wouldn't be able to have that thought. That wouldn't be in reality. And you think just because it's not physically on Earth, your thoughts are not physically on Earth, they still exist in the realm, and they still, you know what I'm saying. That's a different video. I ain't gonna get to that shit because that I don't even know why I even went down there. But I'm just rambling because, you know. But yeah, I'm 45 minutes in. I'm gonna let y'all go.